Yeah, so I'm out here on Fraser Island camping, and I'm going to do a quick review on the Primus Kinjia. I just bought it a few weeks ago, and this is the first trip I've used it on. And when I was researching it, there wasn't a lot of reviews on YouTube, so I thought I'd just make one real quick, tell you what I think about it. First thing off is the handle. The handle, I love it. It's a nice stainless steel handle, oak trim, gives it a real stylish look. You got some brass in there too. Yeah, really kind of classy looking stove. Yeah, so you put that handle straight up vertical and it opens it up. When you close it, it locks it. It'll also lock when it's like that too. It locks it, and also like that. And what that other thing that handle does is that protects those knobs. Like when you're storing this thing, and maybe you've got it stacked in with a bunch of other stuff, those knobs can get bent and broken, and that handle's going to protect those knobs from getting damaged in any way. Yeah, you open it up, and yeah, you got the grate, and that grate, I noticed on their website they say put the grate upside down and store it that way, but this thing closes fine with the grate anyway, so you just leave the grate up like that. But you can also cook with that grate upside down, and that puts your pot a little bit closer to the burner, so that might be a good idea if you're in a bit of wind and stuff. You get the pot really down low and onto that flame. And this grate just pops out real simple, really quick, and that's a pretty decent grate. It's a solid, kind of fairly thick piece of stainless steel. It's not flimsy or anything, and yeah, that's going to last a long time. But it's not overly heavy either. And yeah, inside it's just a real simple stove. There's not much to it. Simple is better. What you want is simple, functional, and nothing to really break down on you. Yeah, so it's a 3.7 jet, or it's a 3.7 anyway, so I assume it's you can see the hole in it, so you might be able to get a little really fine piece of wire and clean that out. That's probably the best way to go about it. Yeah, but that is a real simple, when you're out camping and your jet falls up on you, you don't want to spend 20 minutes or half an hour just tearing the thing apart to get to it and then put it all back together again. That's a pretty quick, yeah, these jets, you don't have to just give them a little pinch. Yeah, that's all you need. And then it pops back in. And yeah, I'm not so sure about these clips because I've already scratched the crap out of it, putting them on and getting them off. And then yeah, if you lost them, you're going to have to find a replacement clip. So let me, hopefully you can see that. But yeah, I've scratched already the paintwork. It's underneath at the base, but no one sees that anyway. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's pretty hard to get them on and off without scratching that paintwork. So not such a bad idea, but yeah, just you're going to make a mess there with the paintwork. That maybe just a Phillips screw might be a better option. Yeah, and then, yeah, so quick, if you get up in the morning and the jet's playing up on you, it takes a couple of minutes, and back to, tear it apart, back together, clean the jet, and away you go. You also got a second burner in case one jet plays up. And yeah, what else can I say? Well, I'll tell you the other thing I like about it, and probably why a lot of people buy this. Yeah, so probably the main reason, the number one reason people buy these stoves is for this, the dimensions. Look at that. That's your typical drawers, like in Australia. Car camping's pretty big. Everyone's got drawers in the back of their utes, their trucks, SUVs. Also, you have, like in the vans, you can have camp kitchens. Oh, cicadas. But yeah, that is the perfect size. Most camp stoves, just awkward things that just don't fit anywhere. They're just an awkward piece of kit that you got to take and find a spot for it. But here, that just fits perfectly in your rear drawers. Yeah, so I'm going to light it up. You probably know that it doesn't have a piezo switch, which is just fine with me because these switches always seem to fail. And yeah, and then that button's there to remind you for years to come that you bought something like cheap and you got ripped off. You know, I'd rather just not even have them. They don't work. You might get one to work for a while, but they always seem to fail. And Primus is the right thing. Just don't even have it. Like it's just something that's going to fail. It'll be a weak point of the stove. So what I use, and this is look, this is a little hack I'm gonna tell you. If you don't have one of these, get these. These are awesome. This is a little butane torch, and yeah, these are great for camping. You can use them to light up your campfire. Use them to start up your stove. You can even make a little creme brulee in the bush if you want. But this is like the #1 piece of kit you should have when you're camping. And yeah, just click her up. You got a torch. So yeah, let's light this thing up, and I'll show you what it can do. Yeah, so that's pumping up some serious BTUs there. And yeah, you can bring it right down. Bring it right down, and you got a really good range. Probably a couple of turns on the knob to go from high to very low. I should almost put this at night because you can get this thing like really low, like really low, and yeah, and it'll simmer like that. Just keep the plate warm, really. Okay, I'm going to try not to melt my camera lens here, but yeah. So we'll first of all, I'll turn it right down. It'll just kind of simmer away, and really low setting. That'll just keep you simmering, even keeping the pan warm, really. And you can turn her up, and you got a fair bit of turning before it cranks full blast. And there you are, full blast. Yeah. So if you're cooking something and you want some heat, no problem at all. But I think the biggest knock on a lot of camp stoves is can they like turn it down and just simmer, a gentle simmer. And this one, it's fairly new, but right now no problem. One more thing to mention is that Drifta make like a soft shell case out of boot liner for these things, and a windshield or a windscreen that you can put around it too, just to fit those dimensions perfect. And yeah, I don't have one, unfortunately, not yet, but I'm going to get one. And I think that's a pretty good idea. The stove is all really nicely painted and powder coated, and you don't want to scratch it up and dent it. And well, I already have a little bit, but I'm going to get that sleeve and the little windscreen shield that goes around it. It also fits in that sleeve as well. So yeah, I'll complete unit, and I think it's probably worthwhile to get that for this stove as well. Yeah, so what don't I like about it? Well, probably there's one thing, and I don't think it's really much of a problem for me, but I would like it if that lid came off, if that was a removable lid. There's a one burner version of this stove, and it has a removable lid, but if you say you had an oversized griddle or some sort of huge pan, it would probably help not to be able to take that lid off. For me, it's not a problem, but there might be a few people that it might be a bit annoying. But the overall con of this stove is the price. And I guess you just got to make a decision. And it's kind of like buying a Toyota Land Cruiser. You know it's good, but is it worth the price? And this one I paid like $400 for it, or almost $400 Australian for it, which is works out to about, I don't know, $50 American or something like that. But no, I'm not really sure what it is in the States, but yeah, $400 Australian it's a lot of money for a little stove like this. But I just don't want to get caught out. I've gone through so many stoves and have never been really happy with any of them, and I'm hoping this one to get many years out of it without any problems. So if that's the case, I'm happy to pay that kind of money. But yeah, it's something you're going to have to make a decision if you can afford that kind of, if you're willing to pay that for a simple little stove. But yeah, the price, it's made in Europe, so yeah, you get what you pay for, hopefully. And it certainly seems like a top stove, and I'm looking forward to a lot of years of no problems.